Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sessions Cafe. I'm your host, Keri Singleton, and today we welcome my brother from another mother, Marc Anthony Smith-Brown, all the way from my hometown of Boston, Massachusetts. Now, I know I say that a lot, my brother from another mother, but in this case, not only do we have the same technical last name, because my dad's last name was Smith, we really are almost connected with all the people that we know from
we're
back
really,
in Boston.
families are really connected.
Yeah, absolutely. But you and I never met.
No.
This is our first time meeting, and you definitely have a story that surpasses any and all connections that we might have, and so we're going to get into that. I see you brought your book.
Yes.
Battlefield to CEO. He has the picture of the John Hancock building, which is the tallest building in Boston, with, I think, way too many antennas. I see the Christian Science Church, which I'm familiar with. I see the Old North Church, but most importantly, I see a lot of photos that indicate a lot of combat.
Yes.
So the first thing I want to ask you, you are a U.S. Army vet. I'm going to be honest. I often ask this when I speak to black men in particular that have been in the service. Why did you decide to enlist in the U.S. Army as a black man in America?
It goes back and actually stems back to the reason why I have this hat on.
Okay. United States Marine Corps.
My granddaddy,
Okay.
Joseph Smith,
Okay.
was a Marine. And my whole life growing up as a child, he said, grandson, you want to be a man, you join the Corps.
Okay.
So I
wow.
joined, I actually was in the delayed entry program for the Marine Corps for 2 years, learned hand-to-hand combat, Krav Maga through them.
Okay, hand-to-hand combat. I don't know anything about the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, or the Marines. So what does that mean? Were you punching people or shooting them?
Well, it's self-defense.
Okay.
It's different ways of learning how to defend yourself in different situations.
Okay. Wow.
They trained me how to remove a M16 or an M4 with a bayonet attachment still attached to it from another man while he was trying to kill me.
So that means you can fight.
Yes.
You can right now beat me up.
I have a self-defense training course that I've been developing for years.
You can right now beat me up.
I'd rather not, but yes,
But you could, yeah. Your hands are legally
registered as lethal weapons.
Stay over there, brother. Stay over there. Stay over there. What did being in combat? Because a lot of people go to the service and then they end up working in the kitchen, I've heard, or the nurse's station or whatever. They don't necessarily go out and bomb people or shoot people. You've actually been in combat. So what was that like for you? And how old were you when you went into the service?
Well, kind of have to answer that question backwards.
Okay.
I went into the military when I was 19 years old.
Wow. Okay.
Straight out of high school.
Straight out of high school, yeah.
I went into basic training at Fort Benning, Georgia.
Okay.
Then I went to aviation training at Fort Rucker, Alabama.
Okay.
Where I learned how to be an aviation operations specialist and air traffic controller.
Okay.
In layman's terms, in
Yes.
regular words, I'm the guy you call when you're getting shot at.
Okay. In
To
your
get
plane?
the helicopters over
Oh,
your head,
okay.
that way they can save your life.
Now, where were you at geographically in combat? Clearly, you weren't in the United States.
I was in, well, we started off in Kuwait
Oh wow.
before the war even started.
Okay.
I'm the third unit to cross into Iraq sand.
Okay.
We were the unit that gave air support to the engineers that built the berms for everybody else to come through.
Oh, okay.
Because I am 2nd and 17th Cavalry Regiment, 101st Airborne Division,
Okay.
air assault.
Wow.
With that being said, I am an elite Black Operations Special Forces operative.
Yeah, all of those terms mean nothing to me, but they sound very frightening and dangerous.
Yes, because I'm the guy that my unit is the unit they send out before anybody else.
Oh wow. So you're basically the front
With a scout.
line. Okay. Well, how long were you in the service?
7 years, 2 tours.
Wow. 2 tours meaning you went to 2 different combat locations? A tour to me is something that a recording artist does, a tour. Janet Jackson went on a tour.
So
I don't...
my tours were a year long.
Okay.
And they were both in Iraq. First year was fighting from Kuwait all the way up to the capital of Iraq, Mosul. We were in every single major battle.
Wow.
From the start of the war until we hit Mosul, Iraq.
And this is in your early 20s.
Yes, this is when I was 21, 22.
So now listen, I'm from Boston, as I mentioned earlier. It's a large city. It's actually a medium-sized city for this country, about 600,000 people. When you and I were growing up, it wasn't even 600,000, it was about 580 or something. The point is, it's not the most cosmopolitan city as much as people in Boston would like to think that it is, okay? It's not, it's not a small city like a Hartford, Connecticut, or something like that. But you don't really see the world necessarily by living in a city with 500,000 people.
Right.
So I say all that to say, going from the streets of Dorchester to combat in the Middle East must have been a super traumatic culture shock for you.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Because previous to that, the year prior, I had gone on a foreign exchange student program where I went to Spain for 3 weeks.
Okay.
And I went there to learn Spanish.
Right, but I get that, right? But so you had a cultural experience, but you did not have a combat experience.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
Lord knows the streets of Boston can be much like a war zone, but
Not like that.
Not like that.
Not like that.
So, like, that must have, and you were young.
Yes, and what you see over there, you can't unsee.
Right. So you were traumatized
Very.
by a lot of the stuff that you saw. You were gone for 7 years, you said.
7 years, 2 tours.
How had the world changed, Mark, in terms of the world that we know here in the States? How did the world change while you were away? 7 years is a long time, but 7 years in that environment is a really, really long time. So how had the world changed when you returned back to normalcy as we know it?
It was like a whole new Boston sprouted up underneath my feet.
Wow.
I came home and didn't recognize where I was.
Right.
Granted, you go to the hood's always going to be the same.
Right.
The hood don't never change.
Especially in Boston.
But when you go out, when you hit downtown,
Yeah.
and you
Whole new
start
seaport.
right, and all the new buildings that sprouted up, I'm standing there like a new child that stepped into a new environment that I didn't recognize.
The Twilight Zone.
Right.
Yeah. But internally, though, what kind of changes were there? I get the infrastructure changed, but what were the internal changes that you had to contend with?
PTSD.
Wow.
Severe
I
PTSD.
bet. And you were so young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the missions that I was on was the cause of the bulk of my PTSD. That is the mission where we went after Saddam Hussein's sons, Uday and Qusay.
Yeah.
I was the lead RTO, radio transmitting operator, for that mission. Anything that happened on the ground filtered through me.
Wow. That's a hell of a lot of responsibility. Not only is it a lot of responsibility, it had to have been a lot of just pain, bro.
I had to move at microspeed. I didn't have a chance to feel it.
Right.
By the time I realized that I had a problem, I was in my 30s.
Wow. I'm going to read a quote, and I just want your opinion on this quote when I read it. It says, "They tried to bury me, but they forgot I was a seed. I turned pain into purpose and purpose into progress. I fought through hell, walked through some storms, and still came out shining. Because I'm not what happened to me, I'm what I chose to become." Does that sound familiar to you?
That's my creed.
Talk
I'm
to
a
me about
warrior.
that.
I'm a champion, and I'm strength when nobody has anything left in the tank. I am 217th Cavalry Regiment. I'm 101st Airborne. I am a champion.
Let's talk about your life after the service.
Whew.
One thing I never really understood about this country, well, there's a lot, but one of the things in particular is how the United States can so easily send people, citizens, children in most cases, or young adults, to foreign lands, to foreign environments, to engage in war that they didn't initiate themselves, and then when they come home, somehow not even be able or willing to provide bare necessities like housing. The fact that we have a homeless crisis in the United States today is not an accident.
No, it's not.
And the fact that a large number of those individuals who are experiencing homelessness are people who fought for this country.
Yes.
You were one of those people.
15 long years homeless.
Talk to me about that.
Well, first I have to explain why I was homeless. Coming back from Iraq, I looked at my commanding officers and said, something's not right with me.
Okay.
I need help.
Mm-hmm.
They looked at me and said, it behooves you not to make that decision for your career's sake.
Oh, wow.
Then I asked 3 times more. And it wasn't until I was face to face with my roommate and with a bayonet in my hand saying, I'm going to kill you, that the military finally realized that I had a problem. And they sent me to Blanchford Army Hospital, where they misdiagnosed me again. With that being said, I turned to self-medication and wound up imprisoned for 2 years. In prison, I was misdiagnosed again, anxiety. Never once in my record did they say I had PTSD.
Right. Well, of course, because then they'd have to treat it.
Exactly.
Right.
Then I get out, and because I was robbed of my dignity, stripped of my honor, thrown into prison, came home, no one would hire me.
Right.
I had to hustle selling bootleg movies, back when that was the big thing,
Yeah, yeah.
in order for me to make a living. It took 3 years of doing that in order for a job to even look at me for a regular job. And I still wasn't able to hold a job for an extended period of time.
Right, of course. Listen, we got to go to break, but obviously we have a lot more to talk about, Mark. So we'll be right back, and me and this guy have a lot more to discuss. We'll be right back. And we're back with a pretty riveting story from my guest, Marc Anthony Smith-Brown. And combat, service to the country, prison, and now homelessness.
Yes. It all came down to the systemic racism that happened when I was in the military. The gentleman that got me hooked on drugs to begin with was Caucasian. He went sent to rehab.
Of course, because some people go to rehab, some people go to prison. What was the drug of choice?
Cocaine.
Cocaine, okay. So how did all of the things that we talked about in the last segment end up in homelessness, and what was that like for you? Let's talk about that. Homelessness in Boston?
I get out of prison, and
2
I'm
years.
bouncing. Yes.
Okay.
2 years in prison, and I'm bouncing from house to house to house to house, from
Couch
shelter
surfing.
to
Yeah,
shelter.
Shelter.
Fighting. Not here. Here.
Here, okay.
Because no matter where I went, someone wanted to test me.
Right.
Someone thought I was small.
Yeah.
They didn't realize that there was light in the fire. There was lighting the fuse to a little pieces of TNT.
Yeah, people in Boston will test you. Mm-hmm. Not that they don't do it everywhere, but I know it from experience. Yeah. They'll test you. But
And
go
then
ahead.
you light that fuse.
Yeah, and
you see what happens.
They had no idea. So what happened? Just take us to that.
Every shelter I went into, you deal with theft. You can't leave anything anywhere.
I hear it's like prison.
It is like prison.
Okay.
It's identical to prison.
Prison, okay.
The only difference is you can leave
You can leave, right?
and come back
Right.
throughout the day.
Other than that,
It's prison.
okay. Go ahead, continue.
So I come out of prison to go back into prison.
Wow.
And during this time, I'm bouncing from house to house, trying not to go into those systems. Eventually, I wound up biting the bullet and doing it anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Just so that way I could try to find a way to climb out of it.
Yeah.
Because, like I said in my creed, I'm a warrior.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to grow. I'm a seed. You plant me, I'm going to grow.
Right.
So, regardless of what happens to me in the situation I'm in, I'm going to find a way.
To grow.
And that's what I had to do. I had to find a way to get out of there.
15 years of homelessness?
Yes.
So, again, I'm rewinding. You went proudly into the service. I've seen pictures of you on social media, a proud, wide-eyed young kid, you know, ostensibly ready to serve his country, and you come out on the other side, bouncing from homeless shelter to homeless shelter. What does that do to your dignity and your pride?
Strips it. You bare bones, raw, and you're looking. The world looks at you as though you're a cockroach.
And that's got to be hard to take when, in fact, you've done more for this country than most of the people you're seeing that are walking by you.
Sacrificed my mind, body, and spirit for this country.
Wow.
And to have people walk by me like I was a piece of trash, it eats you. It eats you in a way that it either is going to consume you and you're going to fall right back into the drugs, mm-hmm. or you're going to be the warrior like I am, cavalry. You put us out there, we don't die. You can't kill a Calf Scout. Mm. That's why they say, don't worry, the cavalry's coming.
But it had to have just been, I get that you did it. Clearly we're here to talk about, to celebrate your accolades, your achievements, and most importantly, your progress. But it had to have been just so difficult for you, Marc, to know where you've come from and see that you weren't appreciated. Again, I dare to say, you did more for this nation than the average people walking up and down a main street in Boston, and yet they're looking at you like you're a throwaway.
Yeah.
It's got to take a very strong person to say, you know what, you're not right. Because a lot of times when people tell you something about yourself based on their insecurities or their perceptions, one could believe it. If you hear it enough, one could believe that they're a piece of trash. One could believe that they're ex-con and they'll never be anything more than that. I went to prison for 2.5 years in New York State. So I know what it's like to have to overcome something like jail. Mm-hmm. When I got out of jail, I had to couch surf. Mm-hmm. So I know what it's like to go through a lot of the same things that you went through, but know in your mind and in your heart, this really isn't who I am. This is a journey that I'm going through. However, if people tell you enough, a lot of times you can believe it. And you had the added burden of being addicted to a drug. How did you even escape your cocaine addiction?
Prison.
Okay.
I got out of prison and said, I'm not touching that shit. I'm not touching that ever again.
Okay. Wow.
Because
that ushered you into prison.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the only reason why I was using it in the first place was to numb myself.
Exactly.
To stop the thoughts that were going through my head from when I was overseas.
Right. And nobody ever thought to say, hey, maybe you should go to the VA, Marc, as opposed to the crack dealer or whatever.
I did.
But I'm saying nobody else thought that they should provide that for you, being that you served.
Right. And when I went to the VA, I didn't get the evaluation I was supposed to get.
Oh, yeah.
They gave me the big FU.
Wow.
They turned me away. 15 years, I've gone to the DAV, the VA, the Veterans in Armed War, every Veterans Association out there, because I knew when I got out of prison, they did me wrong.
But you know what, though, brother? you turned pain into purpose.
Yes, I did.
And that's a term that I actually recently began to really embrace. How we, as citizens of this planet, can take our pain and turn it into purpose. And so, let's talk about your purpose. Marc Anthony Designs. Let's talk about that first. Look at the smile on your face. Totally different vibe when we talk about your successes. So let's embrace your successes, because that's where we are today. Marc Anthony Designs. Let's talk about that.
It's been a long time coming. Humble startings.
Right.
Pair of scissors, an X-Acto knife, and an inkjet $50 printer.
Wow.
Printing printable vinyl, making T-shirts, and selling it in a train station.
Okay. That's got to be humbling. Now, what are these?
Those are tumblers.
Well, I mean,
They keep
I know
your
they're
drinks.
tumblers, but
They
they're very...
one, they glow in the dark.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, I like these.
Two, they're black light activated.
Black light activated.
Because I print with black light activated ink, and I'm printing on a glow in the dark cup. When the cup glows in the dark, the image glows as well.
Oh, wow.
I found that out by accident, just experimenting.
Well,
just
I like
playing
shiny
around with
stuff. So, yeah. So who is this? We'll go through the characters.
That's my little pumpkin dude.
He looks like this guy named Shaky that used to live up in Boston. You know Shaky? Yeah, Shaky. If you're not from Boston, every city, every hood has at least one character. And Shaky had been shot in the eye. He scared the hell out of us. Everybody in Boston that lived in the hood knew who Shaky was, and he literally looked like this man. Rest in peace, Shaky. He used to scare the hell out of me, and I'm sure he smelled bad, but he was loved by everybody. So this is clearly...
Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Okay, because last month was Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And then Halloween, I like this, okay. And this looks like it probably could be something else.
It does have a hookah attachment.
Yeah, so you could just do all kinds of things with this thing here.
Yeah.
And it's got something in it, I don't know what that is. And who is this lovely young lady?
That's my nice little Halloween witch.
Okay, she's a beautiful Halloween witch. I'd like to ride on her broomstick. Oversharing. Yeah, so we have a table filled with your things. And so now, like, what's this?
This right here is called Neorhythm.
Neorhythm.
This is the thing that actually helped me heal my PTSD.
Okay,
It's
so you wear that around your neck.
pulse electric magnetic frequency treatment.
Oh, Jesus, that sounds
It
painful.
vibrates magnets inside of it vibrate at a vibrational frequency that actually help to heal your body.
Really?
Yes.
Did you make that?
No, I purchased it from Omnipimp by Neorhythm by Omnipimp.
But for whatever reason, it's sitting here among your display. Now, what is this?
Because I am a brand ambassador for it.
Oh, okay. Now, what is this? Obviously, it's an ashtray.
Yes, my epoxy resin ashtrays also glow in the
I
dark.
smell everything, sorry.
They also glow in the dark. This is my cute little snake.
I don't know if I might want to sniff. Now, what is this?
Again, these are all made out of epoxy resin. I put a nice healthy amount of...
Is it okay if I sniff this? Is this not going to get me higher?
No.
Okay.
I put a healthy amount of glow powder and glow paint into all my resin so that way it glows real bright when people get it home.
Oh, wow.
And it's funny because in the beginning I didn't tell my customers that it glue in the dark, and they get it home and they come back and complain, why is my stuff looking at me?
Maybe they were on something too. And last, but I would dare say most importantly, let's talk about your book.
That book took a lot of years of healing for me to write that book.
That's your story.
Yes.
Battlefield to CEO.
Battlefield to
Yes.
CEO. It is the story of my trials, my tribulations, my triumphs, my breakthroughs, everything that I've gone through from the time I joined the military until the time I got out until now.
Yeah. Okay.
And
how can people, because I got a couple of things I want to ask you as well.
Yes.
So how can people get a copy of this book?
You can get a copy of the book through my website.
Okay. What is your website?
MarcAnthonyDesigns.com
Okay.
and LoveLifeMedia.com
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
We have a family platform so that all of my we have a very talented family.
I know your family.
My brother's the backup dancer for Chris Brown. My auntie Vivian's an author.
Yeah.
My uncle Smitty's an actor. My uncle Naheem's an actor. My uncle Shab's a hip hop
Naheem and I
artist.
actually worked on a play together.
You see?
With Cindy Diggs. We know all the same. You and I are just meeting for the first time, but we all know the same people. I know Smitty since I was a kid. I know Cindy.
I was in Hip Hop 9/11.
I was too. I was too. Yeah. Wow. Okay. We got 1 minute. But before we go, Marc Anthony, I really want to talk as quickly as we can about Operation Homes Free, which is your LLC.
Yes.
Building homes for vets, indigenous families, and LGBTQIA+ community members. Go.
I got involved with the LGBTQ community, one, because of my brother, who was openly gay.
Yeah, who I know.
Love him dearly.
Yeah, very well.
And in doing that, I started going to festivals. But with that being said, Operation Homes Free was built out of the pain that I went through being homeless, and taking that and turning that into a reason for me to build something to that way that doesn't happen anymore to anybody else.
That's so admirable, bro. That's admirable. They got to read your story. Unfortunately, the show's only a half an hour long. I could sit here with you for another hour and talk about, your book alone. I mean, I can't wait to check it out. Words of wisdom.
Don't give up. 20 years of fighting. I never gave up. No matter how many times they put me down, no matter how many times they left me out, no matter how many times they left me for dead, I found a way. I found a way to resurrect. I found a way to climb out. I found a way to climb up. Just because you're in that dark tunnel and you don't see the end, don't give up. Keep going. Because eventually, you're going to be standing here with the championship, just like me, saying that I am a champion.
Wow. I needed to hear that even today. Thank you so much, brother, for coming on the show. I appreciate you. I love you. I love your family.
Thank you for having me.
And I appreciate you sharing your story.
It's been a real honor.
Thank you, brother. The honor is all mine. We'll see you next week.